Hello everyone. I am here. I'm supposed to be here with Sidra, but Sidra had other things in mind for this afternoon, namely hanging out indoors where I wasn't able to get a good view of her at all. So I'm hanging out with Michael, and then we're gonna go and find some other birds to say hello to. Where are you all watching from? We'll let everyone get a second to join here, and then we will start talking about some of the winter accommodations that we've got going on for our bird friends. Michael, what do you think? We've got a lot of car sounds coming around here right now as well, because we are getting ready for the winter, and it is a busy working sanctuary in the middle of the day, so we're right up front and center where everything is going on at the moment. We've got Michael kind of showing off her floofy tail feathers here. So thank you everyone. Oh, we've got someone calling in from Tennessee. Wow, that's pretty far. Oh, Michael, you're walking away from us? Wow, okay. The best laid plans are foiled by literally every single sanctuary resident today, and let's see who we can say hello to. We'll see if Bruce wants to say hello in here. Excuse me, Michael. While we go and see who wants to actually maybe have a snuggle with the humans on our chilly December day, I also want to take a second to announce or to remind folks who may have already seen our announcement that right now, through the end of the year, we are fortunate enough to have some wonderful supporters of the sanctuary, John and Stan, who are going to be matching all donations made through now until the end of the year, up to $25,000. So if you are looking for places to support, at the end of the year and make those sort of end of the year donations. We know that this has been an incredibly difficult 2020 for everyone, but we are so grateful for any support. We're going to say hello to Bruce here. Bruce, what do you think? Do we want to do snuggles? Do we? You are not Sidra. You are not Pilar. And you are much better equipped for winter than Sidra and Pilar. And we're going to talk a little bit about our birds and some of the struggles that they go through in the winter. Ducks not really being one of them. Although this is actually a good opportunity in some ways, because Bruce's friend here, does anyone remember the name of Bruce's friend? So this little one right here. She's quite shy. She doesn't tend to, she does not tend to draw the most attention or enjoy the most attention in the world. She was having a beautiful cuddle with Bruce before I walked in here a second ago. So she was just curled up under his chest, and she was taking a good nap. Bruce was stuffing his face into her back feathers, also taking a good little nap there. But I've officially ruined nap time by being a human in a bird's space, or in these birds' space. Some birds like to take naps around me. So this is Valentina, and Valentina is a little Muscovy who was rescued. Ooh, we've got Christian in the background. I don't know if you saw him kind of dart past there. Little Valentina is a Muscovy duck who came to us many years ago without really having much left in the way of feet. So she had lost her feet to frostbite. So while most of our ducks do really well in winter weather and are super well equipped to handle the cold weather and stay warm without injury to their soft tissues, like their skin and their skin. She was left without really any shelter whatsoever prior to having come here, and did suffer some pretty severe frostbite. So you could actually see right here what should become like a whole webbed foot around there is just a little bit of a stump. And she gets around okay, but she's certainly a disabled duck who we keep an eye on. And you know what? Fair, Valentina, that you're not the most into humans, right? She's like, I can't believe you're talking to me. Veronica says Valentina is one of the best names in the entire world. Veronica has a little baby in her life who is named Valentina. Not her own baby, but... So, we are meant to be talking a little bit about how well chickens adapt to the cold weather. I'll walk over. And I would love to know if anyone remembers or knows where in the world the descendants or the ancestors of domestic chickens today came from, because this is pretty important to understanding how well they do in our winter weather. And I'm going to give you a second to leave some guesses in the comments while I see if we can get a little bit closer to Bruce here, and perhaps we'll get in a Bruce cuddle. What do you think, Bruce? Well, we'll get in a Bruce nibble. I'll take it. Janine doesn't know. Janine, you've been watching us for a little while now. Veronica says, I can't remember where exactly, but definitely close to the equator, right? Yes, so certainly much closer to the equator than we are here in New York. They do have a decent range. I'm sorry, Janine. I didn't mean to pick on you. And so, thank you, Bruce. The wild ancestors of chickens are called tropical jungle fowl. Red jungle fowl, in particular, are the main ones who they are descended from, and they are native to South and Southeast Asia, fairly close to the equator. Yes, but certainly a tropical jungle environment. Bruce, you're a handful, and I love it. I love it. Do you want this? So our chickens actually do really poorly in both the extreme heat of the summer that we get here, as well as in the winters. They, in tropical jungles, would have access to quite a bit of shade, and they would live sort of in the underbrush a lot of the time, so they would be able to stay a lot cooler than if they're just sort of out exposed to the heat of midday, the way they so often are in the summer. So we make sure that we try to give them lots of shady areas to cool down, as well as lots of foot baths and all of that to cool down in the summer. But it still doesn't solve the problem of the winter. Hi, Bruce. I have no food. Oh, you're gonna he's sticking his bill into my coat sleeve. Yeah? Is that warm? Is that comfy? Okay. We're just gonna have a little cuddle, I guess. That is really precious, Bruce. I love you. Wow. He's being a very good boy. He's always been a bit of a nibbly dude. So he shows his affection by nibbling on us in ways that, are sweet to him, and maybe we don't always love the degree of. But you're being so gentle right now. He's like, I will show you. You said I'm gentle. I love you, Bruce. So for our chickens, what are some of the areas on a chicken's body that you think might be more susceptible to the cold? Take some guesses in the comments. Let's see if, I think I saw, oh, actually Nancy is a chicken who lives here with Bruce. Come on, Nancy. And she's walking over right now. Not for you, Bruce. It's for Nancy. Let's see if we can get her on screen. Here we go. Here's Nancy. Come on, Nancy. Thank you. That's excellent timing. She's also one of my favorites. She's getting a little bit older now. Sanchez is watching like, why does Nancy get a treat? That's Sanchez right up there. Oh, what a day. What an afternoon. So Nancy she's got one of the best butts at Sanctuary. Let's see if we can get that on screen here. Look at that butt. So fluffy, so beautiful. Hi, Brucey. Oh, we're gonna eat my hat. I'm gonna eat my hat now. And my hair. Maybe my face. My glasses next. Janine asked if maybe it was their feet that are particularly susceptible to the cold. That is certainly one part of their body that is very susceptible to the cold. So you're absolutely right, Janine. My neck is in a weird position as I kind of like crane up, but I also don't want to lie fully on the ground. And we did get a question what the bunny's name in the background is. So the bunny in the background is Christian, and Christian has a brother named Bobby who's even further in the background. Christian and Bobby used to be bonded to one another, but they are having a bit of a tiff at the moment, so they live in separate yards. Yes. So Bobby lives 2 fields back from here, and Christian lives with Sanchez and Lyle the chicken. So we've got a lot of interspecies friendships happening here. So chickens' feet are some of the parts of their body that are more susceptible to the cold. Let's see if we can get Nancy back here. Where are you, Nancy? There we go. They are also susceptible to the cold on their comb and their wattles, which we'll see if I can get Nancy to show herself a little bit more. Nancy. Nancy. Okay, well, this is exactly where the comb and the wattles are not. So Nancy's comb is the red on the top of her head, and the wattles are the red sort of under her chin here. Ugh. So those are areas where their body loses a lot of heat really easily, and they evolved essentially to help them cool off in these warmer environments. So sometimes what we'll hear conversation about is these sort of quote-unquote cold hardy chickens. Chickens who are heavier birds, so just have more body mass to them, which in theory would help them stay a bit warmer in the cold weather. And chickens who have a much smaller comb and much smaller wattles, so that they might not get as bad of frostbite. And we hear a lot of conversation around these sort of cold hardy birds. Oh, they'll be fine, you don't have to worry about them at all. Over the winter, just make sure that they have a decently warm coop. They will adapt, they will adjust. And unfortunately, we have not seen that to be true in practice, because they are still tropical birds, even when they have just a little comb. And Heather says here, Heather is saying a lot of folks try to get rid of their chickens for the winter. That is unfortunately also true, for sure. And when we say get rid of, in quotes like that, the way that Heather wrote, we're often talking about chickens being killed for the winter by folks who really only wanted them to be spring and summer birds. However, a lot of them are kept over the course of the winter. And chickens are prey animals. And prey animals, when they're having a moment of pain or vulnerability, try really, really hard to hide that. So, for example, Nancy is a special needs bird at this point. Nancy has been with us for, she might be closing in on about 5 or so years now. So she's been with us for quite a while. She used to be a free roaming bird here at the sanctuary, and she would go wherever she wanted, kind of, say hello to all of the chickens around. She was a very, very active bird, and she became sick. So she had some neurological issues going on that, by the time they were noticeable, were actually quite severe because she was hiding it. She is doing a lot better now that she's had treatment, but she is certainly, she's certainly someone who just tries to hide the fact that she's in pain, and we see a lot of times these cold, hardy birds actually don't love the winter and do suffer from mild frostbite a lot, without us humans necessarily being able to identify those symptoms, especially if we're not trained and have a lot of experience with it. So folks who are doing their best to care for them and, have perhaps tried to do their research, but come across information that is not totally accurate to what a chicken's experience is, can end up missing some signs of serious injury in these birds. So, for our birds in the winter, we have to do a couple of things. We insulate their barns. We give them heat lamps. We put Vaseline or like petroleum jelly on their body parts that are more susceptible to frostbite. We check for any early signs of frost nip, and bring individuals in who might need to have something treated. And if the temperatures drop below certain points, depending on which birds we're taking care of, we're taking care of them all, depending on which birds we're thinking about how we need to change their environment for, we will potentially bring them all the way indoors to heated buildings. And we're very, very excited right now. We are soon going to be moving some birds in this winter to a new chicken barn that is really equipped to help take care of their needs, so that friends like Nancy can be as comfortable as possible year-round, and not have to deal with some of the weather extremes that we see in, upstate New York, for sure. And we're so, so grateful to the folks who donate and help us provide them with this care. Nancy, where are you going? Where did she go? There she is. We'll do it this way. She just wants to be behind me. So look out eventually for some more updates on our chicken barn, but it has been a long time project, and donating to the sanctuary helps us support the care of these animals and truly give them an environment where they can thrive and not just sort of survive, as unfortunately so many of them had to do before they got here. Sweet Valentina hopefully will never experience frostbite again in her life. Heather says Nancy just wants to be Sassy Sanchez, and that is absolutely true. Nancy loves to be sassy to literally everyone. She has such a full personality. She's a big chatter. Oh, also, Bruce is trying to walk over Valentina. So this is Valentina's butt right here. And Bruce is wondering how he's going to get through that door. Let's wait and see what happens here. What are you going to do, Bruce? How are we going to get through? Oh gosh, the struggle. She's not moving for you. She is not going to move for you at all, Bruce. He's not going to stop trying. Bruce is not the world's most coordinated guy, I have to say, at all. Are you coordinated? No. There was a time, in fact, where Bruce had to wear shoes because he had a pretty bad case of bumblefoot, which is it's sort of like a pressure sore on the bottom of their feet that we see happen in a lot of our larger birds because of the way that the pressure on their feet happens. So it's very common in birds, even in good environments, they get it, and we just have to keep an eye out for it and treat it. But his wasn't really responding, so he had to wear like little cushy shoes, and he hated it. He was extra uncoordinated at that point in time. But yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to get through here, because even without shoes, quite the impasse that we've got going on. And Valentina is a very stubborn and independent bird who knows that she will do whatever she pleases, and Bruce is just going to have to deal with it. Right, Bruce? Oh my goodness. By the way, I had prepared to talk about chickens, but since we are in with our ducks, I'm happy to answer any questions that folks may have about our duck friends, as well as, of course, about our chicken friends. Nancy not being one of the ones who is originally on the schedule for today. Hi, Nancy Pants. What do you think? We also have, it looks like Valentina got up, but Bruce has given up. So we'll see if he stands up and comes out now. But he sat down, and then she got up, so she just had to defeat his spirit a little bit first. Assert her dominance there. But right now, I also want to take a second to announce that we are doing a, I'm forgetting what we're calling it. I'm drawing a blank on the specific name, but we are doing a cookie recipe contest over on our Compassionate Cuisine Instagram. So if you hop on over to @AdLoveStir on Instagram, you will be able to vote for what cookie recipe you want to see demoed at our Friday live stream at 1 p.m. this week. We have all sorts of delicious holiday cookie recipes up there, and so we are just doing a match-off to... Oh, Cookie Madness, Heather has added. Thank you, Heather. We are doing a Cookie Madness sort of competition. You have to choose which ones you'd rather see. And then our wonderful chef Linda is going to be doing a live demo of those recipes, the winning recipe, on Friday at 1 o'clock on our @AdLoveStir Instagram. So do check it out. We are excited to be able to share some of our holiday cookie recipes with you. And you can get even more of the recipes if you sign up for a CAS Live holiday party pop-in. So we will join your virtual holiday parties for 15 minutes, and a special resident of the sanctuary will pop in and surprise everyone at the party. And you'll also get a full recipe booklet if you sign up. So check us out there as well. It's been a lot of fun to hop into folks' holiday parties, and who knows, you may even see some snow in the background depending on when you book it for, because we are expecting a snowstorm here, and we're prepping everyone for it today and tomorrow as well. Right, Nancy? She's like, oh no, it's going to be a coop rest kind of day. I sense it. Because she is in fact not a cold hardy bird. So we'll make sure that she's staying inside and nice and toasty. Did somebody say cookies? Yes, so just looking through the comments here, making sure I'm not missing any questions that folks may have written in. Oh, here comes Bruce. You got it, Brucey. You got it. Come on, bud. Valentina's in the rear. Are you going to block? Okay, so now Valentina is actually standing behind Bruce, and she would like to come out, and she is pushing him out, which I find utterly, you could almost see her little head pushing his butt forward. Nancy asked, is it true that ducklings bond with whoever they see first, even if human? It is very close to true. It's not totally clear that it's just like one first glance, but you know, that first main figure is absolutely who they do bond to. So yes, they will sometimes imprint on humans, and it's a difficult situation because the ones who imprint on humans are not always as social with or as socially adept with other ducks, and ultimately, as a social species, they thrive best when they have other members of their species to be with. Hi, Brucey. So we want them to have, you know, we want them to be best adept to thriving with other ducks. But also, of course, do like when they are social with us. But plenty of ducks who bond with other ducks first are pretty social with humans. Yes, you shake my hand. I love you, Brucey. Oh, you're very good. I don't know if you could see on the camera. I don't know if it's picking it up, but his head is vibrating. But yes, so ducks are happiest when they have a rich social life, including other ducks in it, although they also, of course, really value their human bonds. I think of it a little bit like how, you know, all of my companions who I've rescued over the years and live with really bring a lot of joy and friendship to my life. So I really value having, you know, a cat to cuddle. She is a social friend of mine. I love her as a part of my family, and I need other humans to not feel anxious and to feel secure. And that's what ducks need too. Right, Bruce? Bruce is like, I need no one except Valentina, maybe sometimes, except for when she's roadblocking me. Thank you, Brucey. And actually, that is one of the great reasons that Bruce is here now at the sanctuary. Thanks for watching, Jen. And enjoy the rest of the day substitute teaching. Nancy is asking, is Bruce pigeon-toed, feet turned in? He is a little bit awkwardly shaped. So he does have some leg issues for sure, and is a bit pigeon-toed, yes. Ducks in general look more pigeon-toed than other animals, in my experience, but yeah, he does have some difficulty walking. He does trip over because he's got some crossover between some of his toes here, so sometimes he'll try to lift up one foot, but the other foot will be standing on it. I'm sorry, I know, public shaming there. So part of the reason that Bruce has this issue is because of his size. He has been bred to be a bit bigger than a Muscovy duck male necessarily should be. Yeah, he's a big guy who spent the first chunk of his life also caged, so he may not have developed properly, partially because of that. So he is actually a live market rescue and bears some of the scars of that in his cut bill here, or his cut beak. Right, buddy? Yes. So he has a couple of feet issues that we have to deal with from time to time. And a lot of our birds who grow to be very big animals and grow fairly rapidly, they will also struggle with mobility and with like ligament issues, joint issues, arthritis, all sorts of that, because the rate that they grow at is so fast that their bodies have a hard time keeping up with it as well. And let me just check on the time here, because I know we are just about running out of time together. So I'm going to wrap up in just a second. Let's see if we can get one last view of Nancy, because I think we're going to also catch a glimpse of Michael behind her. Oh, there's Sanchez. I know, Bruce, I got up. I'm sorry. Since we were going to be doing chicken time, we'll say hello real quick to little Nancy Pants here. And there is Michael in the background. She still stayed hanging out with us, even though she decided she wasn't going to be on camera. Are you ready for the snowstorm, Nancy? She's like, don't even. She's just basking in the sun. They do like to soak up the sun on a winter day as well. And they do get vitamin D off of their feathers. So thank you, everybody, for watching us today. If you want to support the sanctuary, keep in mind that we are getting our $25,000 match for all donations made through the end of the year. And check us out. We're going to be here on Thursday as well. It will still be just me. Lauren will be back next week, and then we'll be a duo again. But yes, join us on Thursday at 1 o'clock here, and we will be with, I think we're aiming to be with some of our sheep, but they decide. We've had a couple of goals for the last couple of days of who we're going to be hanging out with on Virtual Sanctuary, and they always change their mind. They're especially particular in the winter. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. We're so grateful for you all. And check out our Cookie Madness on Instagram at @LoveStir. Take care, everyone. Bye.